Hi, this is Dylan Hammock. This is my week 4 map. The first thing they asked me to do on this map is to highlight the Sharon Plain, and they asked me to highlight Mount Carmel, and they asked me to highlight Jezreel Valley. They asked us to look at this and then come up with 3 routes that kind of avoid the terrain. They said the one specific thing that you have to be aware of is the Kandar Uplift, which is right here. They asked us to highlight Megiddo. Megiddo is right there. Then they asked us to highlight Yaham, which is down here. Then they asked us to highlight Dothan, which Dothan's right there. They said to place ourselves at Yaham first, and they said us to follow certain passes to try to get across the Carmel Range. The first path is called the Dothan Pass. The Dothan Pass, you go, you head north, and then you veer northeast towards Gath. So you go here, and then you head northeast once you hit Gath. See, we're going to Gath. We go northeast. It says that we are supposed to run south from the Iskandar Uplift, which we already talked about was here, so we're making sure we go south of it. It then asks us to continue to highlight to the Dothan Valley, which we see there. And it says that our first stop is going to be at Heifer, which Heifer is right here. Our second stop is going to be at Cave Birkin, which Cave Birkin's right there. And then we're going to end at the northwestern intersection of Beth Hagen, which here's Beth Hagen, so we know this is the intersection. This is where we end. That's called the Dothan Pass because it passes Dothan and the Dothan Valley. The next one is the Aruna Megiddo Pass. We are going to still head north towards Gath and then veer northeast and highlight towards Aruna? I'm wrong. My bad. It says to head towards Badus, which we go this way and we're at the intersection, and then it asks us to go northeast to Aruna. So right now we went there and then we went to Aruna. It asks us to continue until we are south of Megiddo, which is right here, and it says to stop at that intersection. So we stop here. Right now we have highlighted to there. That is called the Aruna Megiddo Pass because Aruna and the Megiddo. The next path is called the Jakim Pass. We are going to follow the same path as the Aruna Megiddo, going north of Gath, and then Barudas. We're right here at this intersection, but instead of going northeast, we're going to continue north. The first stop that it asks us to go to is to go to Teesser, which is right here. So we go to this intersection. And then it asks us to go to Shapla. Yes, so that's right here. Oh, sorry. I'm losing my place. Yeah. Just right here, the lowlands. And then we continue on until we get to Jakim. Right? Yes, Jakim, which is right here, and this is where we ended. So this is what we did. That's the Jakim Pass. It's the most direct route to Akko, which is the best Galilee port, which is way up there. The next thing it asked for us to do is to put a blue circle around Yaham because this is the War Council. So we went ahead and put a circle there. And then it asked us to write in small black letters that Thutmose Council to decide route. They asked us to also put a small box east of Tanakh. So here's Tanakh, so we went east, and we put a little small box. And asked to write Canaanites in small black caps. And then it also asked us to put one east of Tikiri. Same thing, small black box, Canaanites. They asked us after doing that to write small blue arrows from Yaham to Megiddo via Aruna. So we started at Yaham and we threw our first blue line to Aruna and then from Aruna to Megiddo. After we finished doing that, it asked us to write Thutmose on it. So we went ahead and wrote Thutmose on the arrow. In black, and then it asked us to put a red circle around Megiddo, which we went ahead and circled Megiddo in red. The next section, it asked us to start off by highlighting Lower Galilee, so we highlight Lower Galilee, and to highlight Upper Galilee, we went ahead and did both of those. After that, it asked us to start writing some tribal names in green. To find that, we had to go to the RR14 map. First one it asked was Asucher, which here is Asucher. After Asucher, it asked us to do Zebulun, which here's Zebulun. After Zebulun, Asher. Here's Asher. After Asher, it asks us to go to Naphtali, which is over here. And then it asks us to do Manasseh. Manasseh is down south. It has in two spots, actually. The first spot is south of the Jezreel Valley, which we saw was right here. And then it also asks us to make sure that is under the geographical name of Iskander Uplift, which we've been looking at this whole time. So we know it's right here because it's right south of it. And then the other spot it asked us is right by the Transjordan, which Transjordan's over here. And it's right by the map, is what they said. So we went ahead and put it right by the map right there. After that, they asked us to put blue on the city dots to identify unconquerable Canaanite centers in Judges 1:27 through 33. In the territory of Manasseh, we had to do Beth Shan first. So we had Beth Shan, which was right here. Here's Beth Shan. Then it asked us to do Tanakh. Tanakh is right here. Saw that earlier. And then after Tanakh, they asked us to do Dor. Dor is over here on the sea. So we have Dor over here. It asked us to do Eblem. Eblem is right here. And then it asked us to finally finish off with Megiddo, which Megiddo is right there. And then the other area was Asher. So Asher, we remember, was way up north. So it asked for 3 spots in Asher. The first was Teako. Teako is right there. After Teako, it asked us for Afek, which Afek's right there. And then after Afek, it asked us for Rehob, which Rehob's right there. After we finished doing our blue on the city dots, we had to highlight Hazor. Hazor is way up here. And also asked us to draw a blue box around the highlight. So we highlighted and drew a blue box around it. And then it asked us to highlight some routes. From Megiddo to Hazor was the first one. So we started Megiddo, and it asked us to go to Afula first. So we went ahead and went to Afula. And then after Afula, it asked us to go to Endor, which Endor is right here. Sorry, there's a lot going on. After Endor, it asked us to go to Labua, which Labua is way up here. So we went. So right now we've gone from here to there, and then from Labua to Arbela, which Arbela is right there. And then it asked us to go to Chinnereth, which Chinnereth is right over here. And then to continue on to Hazor. So we're going to Hazor. So that was our first route. The second route was from the Dothan Pass, which remember we saw earlier was right here by Kazan in the from Dathan Pass by Kabukin, which we talked about this being the Dathan Pass. And it asked us to go to Bethshan via Jezreel. So from where that pass had ended before, which was right here, we went to Jezreel. And then from Jezreel, we went to Bethshan, which was right there. So we basically took this path that stopped here. So yeah, stopped here, and we went like that. The third route that they asked us to do was from Jacinium, which, if you remember, was way up here. Jacinium. My bad. There he is. To Hazor, which we had just highlighted was way north. So we went from Jokneam to Hazor, and the first place we needed to go was Bethlehem, which is right here. So we took this route right here. And then from Bethlehem, they asked us to go to Haneroth, which was right there. And then from Haneroth, it asked us to go east to Tehran. Tehran is over here, so we had to take a little upper route. And then after we got to Tehran, it asked us to go to Makhana, which is right there, and then to join the highway already highlighted on Madan. Remember, we had already highlighted here, so we went ahead and joined the highlight so we can get to Hazor. Then it asked us from Teako to go to Haneroth. Remember, we had just saw Haneroth a minute ago, so from Teako, we went straight down to Haneroth. The next path asked us to highlight a route from Keburkan, north. Remember, we had looked at that before, which is right here, Keburkan. to Tanakh, which Tanakh was just north of it. So we went to Tanakh, and then we went to Megiddo, which is what they asked us to do next. And then they asked us to do Jokneam, which Jokneam is right here. And then north via Tiaco. And then after that, it asked us to go towards Tyre, but Tyre is not on the map, so it asked us to just go straight north off as if we were going to go to Tyre. After this, it asked us to find the Kashan stream. It didn't ask us to do anything. And it asked us to kind of see how it streamed through and just find the different spots that it streams to. It didn't ask us to do anything specifically with that. The next thing it asked us to do was to write Kashan stream in black small caps along the branch of the Kashan and north of Afula. So we know Afula is right here and right there, so we went ahead and write Kashan stream. The next thing they asked us to do was to write Sisera, mobilized in small back letters, southeast of Megiddo. So Megiddo is right here, and we know southeast, so we went ahead and put Sierra mobilizes. And then it asked us to circle that in blue, so we went ahead and circled that in blue. After that, it asked us to do a sweeping arrow from that circle, which is this, and to do it to 121 meters and 397 elevation, which was right here, so we went ahead and did that sweep blue arrow. After we got there, it said to highlight Mount Tabor, which Mount Tabor is right by it right here. And it also asked us to highlight Oak in Zaninim. So we went ahead and did that too. It's just south of Galilee. And then after that, it asked us to do a red confrontation mark just below the elevation reading that we were just at. So right below it, I put a confrontation mark. And then after I put that confrontation mark, it asked us to do a green broken circle. So as you can see at Mount Tabor, it's almost a complete circle, but it's just broken. After we finished that broken circle, it asked us to write in small black capitals Deborah, Barak, and Israelites. And they asked us to do that just east of Tabor, so that was right here. So this is when it starts getting jam-packed a little bit, but we put Deborah, Barak, and Israelites. After we finished doing that, it asked me to do sweeping green arrows. The first sweeping green arrow begins near the dot of Dabarath, and Dabarath was just above it, and so it wanted us to do it from Dabarath towards the confrontation mark. So we went towards the confrontation mark. It also asked us to do just south of Tabor towards the confrontation mark, so we went ahead and did that as well. After that, it asked us to do short blue flight arrows from this confrontation mark, so you can see we went away from it. And they wanted us to go southeast towards Endor, so Endor is right there, so we went with our sweeping flight arrows. And then after that, it asked us to... blue, my bad. My blue flight arrows. And then it asked us to go southeast, east towards... And then it asked us to go east. So from there, we went east again with the flight arrows towards the Oak of Zamanim. And then it asked us to write Sisera's flight. So we went ahead and write Sisera's flight on that, so you know that that is the Sisera's flight. It asked us from additional markings. So the first one is from Hanarath, which we saw earlier was right here. So from Hanarath, it asked us to highlight towards Lower Golan via Adana Nekab. So we went from here to here. And then after that, it asked us to go to Jabneel. So from there, we went to Jabneel. And then from Jabneel, it asked us to go to Ubadea. Yes, Ubadea, which it's right here, which is also called Yanoam. And then it asked us to go to Afeka, which Afeka is up there. So we went there. And then it asked us from Afeka to go northeast off the map, so we followed the trail off the map. The next path was from Bethshan. Bethshan is down here with this blue dot. It asked us to go to Lower Gilead, and so we started off going to Ephron, which Ephron is way over here, so we took this route right here. And then From Ethron, it went to Betharabal, with Betharabal being right there. And then it asked us to go off the map to Bethshan, which is right there. The next one was Otho from Bethshan. And it asked us to go to Upper Gilead. So from here, it asked us to go to this Upper Gilead. And to get to Upper Gilead, it asked us to go to Pehel. Pehel is down here. Yes, down here, right here's Pehel. So we went down there. And then from Pehel, we went to Gabesh Gilead, which is down here. And then from Gabesh Gilead, we went southeast off the map to follow this trail. So we went off the map. The last one they asked us to do was Bethshan to Teako. So Teako, we had to go northish. So we went to Shinum first. So Shinum's right here. We took this route right here to Shinum. And then from Shinum, we went to Afula, which Afula is right there. From Afula, we went to Sarid. Sarid is right there. From Sarid, we went to Shimon. Shimon is right there. And then from Shimon, we went to Sheftam. But Shefram is right there. We went there. And then we finished off at Teako. The last thing that they asked us to do was to highlight Oprah, which Oprah is right here. And then to also highlight the Herod Spring, which the Herod Spring is right here. So you can see it's highlighted. And then it also asked us to highlight the Hill of Morah, which the Hill of Morah is right here. So you can see that's highlighted. And then it asked us to write Gideon in small black caps on the Herod Spring. So you can see on the Herod Spring right here. Wait, my bad. Sorry. Herod Spring right here. It told us to write Gideon. So we wrote Gideon. And I got confused on this, and I circled Herod because the text says to circle his name, and I thought Herod was his name. You're supposed to circle Gideon. I'm really sorry about that. Then it asks us to write Midianites right under Nain. It asks us to put it between Nain and Neorah, so it's right there. And then it asks us to circle that in blue. So we circled that in blue, and then it asked us to also put a red confrontation mark right there. So we went ahead and put that red confrontation mark. And then from that red confrontation mark, it asked us to do a blue flight arrow with green ones chasing it. So we had green chase arrows, if you could see, right here. But we also had, because those are the green chase arrows, and then we had a blue flight arrow that was going to southeast to Rahab. So it went to Rahab, and then from Rahab it went to Abel Mahala, which is down here. This was called the Midianite flight, so they asked us to write the Midianite flight on there. And I believe that was the last thing that they asked us to do. Yes, that was the last thing they asked us to do in this section. I hope you really enjoyed my map. If you would like a better look at it, here's the last look that you can take. Thank you so much for staying with me and being patient.